Hi there and welcome to Bloodborne vs. the Sleuth episode 2, Farmen in Yharnam. So here we're going to get into some proper Bloodborne action and watch me die a hell of a lot. Start off at the headstone, jumping back in, and we're immediately back in at the loading screens. The main feature of Bloodborne, and where you'll spend the majority of your time. We've got the Hunter's Axe, just talking about here. I picked my weapons, so I got the Hunter's Axe and the Hunter's Pistol, which is nice because the loading screen is supporting what I'm saying. You might also notice that the audio quality is a little bit better. I nipped out and bought myself a new mic, getting semi-professional now. Okay, so here's me equipping my axe and equipping my pistol. First run through I went with an axe and a blunderbuss. I don't find the blunderbuss that helpful. The Hunter's Pistol is a little bit better, but I don't think I use it at all throughout this. So there we go, killed the wolf, got my blood echoes back, got my blood vial, and I'm ready to roll. So quite often people just run straight through this area. If you go to the side you get the blood vials like I just did, and then we get out into Yharnam. So that area was Yusefka's clinic. If you go back there later on in the story you can pick up a few extra bits and bobs and get some of the bits that help you towards the 100% or the higher story ending. And just waiting for the gates to open, and then we're into central Yharnam. So this is where most people spend the majority of their farming time, because it's tough, and especially if you don't do it on the first try you can end up pretty stuck here for quite a while. Luckily for me, I blitz it. I didn't think I'd be able to do this, but as you'll see as we go through the video, I managed to take out the majority of the central Yharnam area and unlock a couple of extra routes and touch upon some secrets as well. So here we're going up to the first lantern that you light in central Yharnam, just at the top of this extremely long tower, tall tower I should say. And there we go. You'll also notice that I'm now online. The last one I did offline, but I thought it'd be a bit more fun to be able to see other people's messages, maybe comment on some of like the Bloodborne memes or the kind of recurring things that people say. And also I'm going to try out some of the messages and show how they basically mess me up and end up with me dying. So there's the first surprise enemy. These are the basic enemies in the Yharnam area. They're blood-crazed humans, at least to my understanding. They come in 4 varieties. You've got the shield guys, the torch guys, the pitchfork guys, and the normal guys who go a little bit berserk. You get the full selection pack down here. So what I'm doing here is I'm just waiting. I'm going to sneak up behind and stealth them. I went for the axe, and you'll see in a minute. So I Molotov 2 of them. I went for the axe because it's by far the most powerful weapon. It's slow, it's lumbering, and I know a lot of people who don't like that about it. But for me, it works the best because it gets the most kills and generally allows me to beat through the game. The other thing it does, by dealing the most damage, it means that I can recover the most amount of health in fighting. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to knock on this door. You can knock on several doors around Yharnam. This guy is just a bit of a douche, to be honest, and doesn't let you in, doesn't want to talk to you. If you go back later, you find out that he's dead. So that's something to cheer you up later on in the game. In the background is one of my housemates, Sam. You'll probably hear my housemates from time to time. I live in a Winchester share house. It's alright. It's not too bad, but I'd rather. It's I'd say it's better than Yharnam, just about. So here we are, just a little secret thing at the side. I think most people find that one. It just gets you a bloodstone shard. And here we have the second jump that you get in the game, where an enemy jumps for you. I know quite a few people that it's killed, but once you know about it once, it ceases to be a problem. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, right. So I've got a few followers, a few stragglers. just mincing them, absolutely destroying them. The sword guys are a bit tricky with the axe because they look a bit faster, a bit more nimble, but that's not much of a problem in the end. So I'm just gonna go around. I'm gonna kind of farm. It's more an exploration here and me kind of showing the area of Yharnam, but I also end up with quite a few souls. So this area is one where a lot of people tend to die, mostly because it's packed with enemies. They're all kind of on different times, their own strategies, so different weapons behave in different sync with the enemies. So that kind of can leave like some hunters with a disadvantage in some areas, and some hunters with an advantage in different areas, and so it becomes kind of a guess on what you're going to struggle with and what you're not going to struggle with. But once you've done it once or twice, you'll start to learn the patterns, learn how the enemies behave, and then it becomes quite an easy fight, really. The shield guys are a bit of a struggle for my axe, because the axe has a little bit of cooldown between attacks, so once I disarm the shield guys, quite often the cooldown takes so long that I don't get to hit them before they get the shield back up. But I know with the sword cane and the saw blade, it's a little bit easier dealing with some of these things. Yes, that's true. As Sam just pointed out, he's also made a character on Bloodborne. With the faster builds particularly, if you wait for the shield guys to strike, you can get in and take them down while their shield's up. And I think I'm going to deal with one of the other more prominent enemies in the game here, which is one of the I don't know if they're possessed or if they're blood starved, but one of the dogs. These guys are pretty tough for my build because they're very, very quick, which means that my slow weapons don't really do much to them. I have to kind of keep them at a distance and then swing in. If you're using a different build, you might be able to get in a quick jab and take them out, but it doesn't work so well for the axe hunters. And I'm just picking up some bits and bobs here. Those are the quicksilver bullets. If you're using a non-gun build, which is what I use because I don't really enjoy using the guns, you can sell the quicksilver bullets for quite a lot. You'll accumulate them very, very quickly, and they do sell for about 30 each, 30 blood echoes each. So that'll end up paying off pretty well for you in the long term. The other thing that I've tried to do here is collect some Molotov cocktails. You'll see why a little bit later, but they are very useful in this area. I'm just looking around and being wary because there's a lot of dogs in the cages, but normally there's one or two dogs around that'll go for you and eat you. And here is a little side area, a little secret area that most people tend to find because it's quite well signposted, but it just gives you some cold blood dew. Cold blood dew allows you to trade them for some extra blood echoes and get that extra level up, or get a couple of blood echoes to push you over to level up. This is the way back to a secret passage, kind of, to open up Yharnam more to you and to avoid the fire pit, or the kind of, I'm not quite sure what they're doing back there. It's some sort of burning of an effigy, I think, or burning of a beast. But yeah, it's just this will allow you to circumvent that and kind of get around Yharnam easier. So you make your way through the house, deal with this guy who, if memory serves, is quite a bit of a problem. It's the combination of the fast attack with his short axe and the torch can really leave you at disadvantage. Normally what I like to do if there's an enemy that's giving me a problem like that is just create a bit of space and then take them down. And then here we go, so I'm opening up the passage, which allows me to deal with the problem again. And all I did here was I went back into Hunter's Dream, realised that I couldn't buy anything, so I decided to get back to some hunting. And what I'm doing here is I'm moving towards the first boss that you'll encounter in Bloodborne, which is the Cleric Beast. He's a nasty beastie, so you just go up in the old house, which you'll have unlocked if you've gone through the area, and yeah, just deal with the sword guy here, which again is a bit of a problem. Get the cold blood dew, and head out onto the bridge over Yharnam. This area is a little bit harder than the fire area if you're not used to the enemy types, because again, as with a lot of Bloodborne, it's all about learning how to work the enemies, how to deal with each one, which is really quite immersive because it allows you to kind of feel like a hunter who's learning about his prey. Here I'm dealing with werewolves for the first time. I'm not sure if they're called werewolves, but I call them werewolves. So the easiest way to deal with the werewolves is they can't make their way through doors, you can. So you create a choke point and then you deal with them. I like to think that this is something that that From Software and the creators of Bloodborne put into the game, because with the majority of werewolf encounters you'll find there's choke points like this that you can deal with them, and it makes it a lot simpler. And their attack patterns still allow them, as you can just see there, to come at you, to have a go at you and take a little chunk out of you. But it puts them kind of on an even footing with you, because if you run out and try and take them one-on-one, they're really going to mess up your day. They're a lot quicker, they really heavy striking, so I think you have to use a bit of brains over brawn to deal with them, to take them out. And then we get to our first ogre encounter. So these guys are really heavy, really powerful, got a lot of health, but they're slow, and you can make that you can use it to your advantage. If you can lock them into an attack pattern, you can annihilate them in seconds. Then a couple of ravens, again not much of a problem. And then we get to the cleric beast. So this is the first boss that you'll encounter as you play Bloodborne. As you can see, he's a bit of a beastie. I'm going to have a go here and see if I can take him on, if I can beat him. Molotovs are super effective against the cleric beast. You can get one in his face, he drops down to the ground, and then he's sitting duck waiting for a heavy attack. Unfortunately, when he's not a sitting duck, he's very quick and very aggressive. And especially if you don't have an assist or a summons, this is going to leave you vulnerable to his aggro. When his aggro is focused on you, you can be quite difficult to deal with. The thing with most of the bosses of Bloodborne is they tend to, if they're aggroed onto you, have attacks that will stop you from healing or interrupt your healing. And that's a big problem, because the big advantage you have over the creatures is the ability to use your blood vials, and with 20 of them that gives you an insanely large health bar if you're able to pull them off. But if the beasts and the bosses can interrupt that, then that's going to leave you prone with a small health bar that they can very quickly mine and take down. I don't know much of the lore about the cleric beast. I know that he comes from the area around Cathedral Ward, which we'll get onto later. We're beating up a few more bosses. I assume that he has something to do with the Healing Church, as they are prevalent in the Cathedral Ward area. But past that, I don't really know much about the cleric beast. He's tough, angry, and very, very close. Oh, I'm doing quite well there, dodging. Yeah, he's pressing the advantage here. Coming very, very close to him, I think. As with most Bloodborne bosses, as you push him and attack them further and they get their life taken down, they'll get different attack patterns. This all factors into the kind of the hunter immersion, and that you have to learn the attack patterns if you want to be successful, learn what we're weak with, what we're not weak with. So like, as you saw there, I threw a Molotov, and the Blood-Starved Beast just brushed it off, because by this point it's gone... Correct beast. But by this point it's gone a lot more berserk, and also I didn't get it on the head, which the head does a lot more with the Molotov. It throws it into kind of stun, if you really want to fight. Now he's doing a charge-up attack. This can actually be quite advantageous, because you can either heal up like I just did, or get a heavy attack in. With being an axe hunter, it's all about finding the moments to pull off the heavy attacks. Heavy attacks can stun, they can throw back, and they can do a lot of damage. And then these attacks will leave you prone, which if you can't recover from quickly, as I just demonstrated there, you'll die, and peace wins. That's the end of this episode. So you've seen Central Yharnam and the first boss, the Cleric Beast. I should be putting up another video tomorrow, which will be episode 3. I hope you enjoy this episode, and please follow or link or whatever you want to do. Scream it from the rooftops if you can. Thank you, and bye.